Hi guys, what's up? I'm going on vacation in a week, so this will probably be my last video before that, but we'll see. And so today I decided to talk about my August TBR list. Now, I'm not gonna lie, most of these were on my July TBR that I haven't got to yet. Surprise, surprise. But first, before we get into that list, I want to give you guys the book of the week. And the book of the week that I chose was Felix Ever After by Kaysen Calendar. This book was beautiful and it spoke to me, and I marked it up with quotes that I loved or just parts of Felix's personality that I loved. Oh gosh, this book was so beautiful and so well done. It taught me a lot about transgender people and the struggles they go through, and it gave me a lot of insight, and I just love Felix so much, and I could not have this as my book of the week. So guys, check it out. It's fantastic. I promise you'll love it. Highly recommend it. Alright, so I'm going to start out with some of my TBR books that are on my Kindle, and they have been on my Kindle for a couple months now. Why don't I read my Kindle books? Gosh, I just have a hard time reading ebooks sometimes. Like, I just don't feel motivated to read an ebook. Most times I want a physical book in my hand, and that's probably the only reason why I haven't read these books yet. So first on my Kindle is Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. At this point, I'm practically obsessed with Heartstopper by Alice, and I can't get enough of it, and I think that's why I haven't started this book, even though I really want to read it. I just cannot get enough of Heartstopper. You guys, it's like my favorite comic right now. It pretty much occupies all my thoughts, and I just can't read another Alice Oseman book until I'm a little more satisfied with Heartstopper. But when will I ever get there? I don't know. I'm just obsessed. I'm obsessed with Heartstopper. But I really do want to read this, and I do want to read her other books because I really adore her. She's amazing. She's a great person. Next on my Kindle is Full Tilt by Emma Scott. This is about a rock star who has lost her way in the drug scene, and one night her limo driver sees how incapacitated she is and lets her sleep off her drunkenness on his couch, and that starts a whole story. This book is a part of a duology, I believe, and I only have the first one, but I'm still like, I really want to read it. I just don't know why I haven't yet. And the third book on my Kindle is The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender by Leslie Walton. Did I say that right? Yes, I did. This is a magic realism book about Ava Lavender, and she was born with wings. Is that the right synopsis? Maybe I'm thinking of something else, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's about. And I've heard this book is really beautiful, and why I haven't read it is anyone's guess. These next books are part of a trilogy, and they've been on my shelf since December of last year, which was 2019. You guys, they've been on my shelf forever. Now, I read the first book of this trilogy a long time ago when it first came out. Hardly remember anything about it, and I never picked up the second or third, so it will be like reading it brand new again. And of course, I'm talking about Renegades by Marissa Mayer. This has Renegades, Arc Nemesis, and Supernova. This is about superheroes. I love Marissa Mayer. I love her Cinder series, and I think that's a big reason why, again, I haven't picked up anything else of hers, because the Cinder series was great, and I'm just hesitant to get into any more of her books just because, I don't know, you guys. I really want to read them, and they're so cool. Like, maybe I will take the first one on vacation with me, and I'll read it there. But Who knows? We'll see. The second book on this list is also another book I've had on my shelf since December. And how do I know that? It's because I bought this book the same time I bought the Renegades trilogy. And that is Scythe by Neil Chesterman. Everyone knows what this book is. I don't need to explain it. I just need to explain why I haven't read it. And what is my explanation? I don't know. I don't know why I haven't read this. Maybe I'm thinking here, maybe it's just because other books have caught my eye more. Even though I'm really interested in this, other books have just captured me a little bit more and interested me a little bit more. But really, I promise I'm going to read this book this month. I am. I give myself that promise, and I give you guys that promise. Next on my TBR is another book that I read when it first came out, and again, I don't remember any of it. I don't remember any of the characters' names. I don't remember the story, nothing. And I'm not going to read the synopsis because I've read it a million times and I can never remember it. So I'm just going to go into this kind of blind, and that is An Ember in the Ashes by Sabah Tahir. Again, everyone knows what this is about. Everyone I feel like has read this. Everyone I know has read this, loved it, and I need to get on the Ember in the Ashes train right now. So again, I really, really want to read this, and I just haven't picked it up, and I don't know what's wrong with me. Help me, what's wrong with me? So this month, I am going to read this. Next are a few books that I've recently bought, meaning I bought them probably like 3-4 weeks ago, and again, other books have just captured my attention more and I haven't read them yet, but let's get into it. The first is A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. V.E. Schwab also goes by Victoria Schwab when she writes YA. I read our Savage Song duology. Beautiful, loved it, so great. And this is more of an adult fantasy, so I'm really excited to read more of V.E. Schwab. She's fantastic. I love her style of writing, and her stories are always so interesting and so different. And I love this cover. I think it's so cool, and I'm really excited to read this one. Next on my list is a book that's been around for a long time, and recently the last and final book, I believe, came out last year. Was it last year or early this year? I'm not quite sure, but that is The Diviners by Libba Bray. I hear mad reviews about this one all the time. It's like a supernatural-esque kind of vibe set in the 1930s, and I am like dying to read it. So why I haven't read it is a mystery. Maybe I'll figure that out when I start reading it. But honestly, I'm dying to read this, so I need to get started on it right now. All right, that next book that I have on my TBR from last month that I haven't read, and I know I haven't read this one, is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Now, I haven't read this book because I really, really want to buy the audiobook and read it at the same time as I listen, but the audiobook is $20 and I just can't justify spending money on that right now, especially since I'm just about to go on vacation. So I'm just going to wait a little bit more patiently, closer to the end of the month, maybe the beginning of September, to buy the audiobook, because I was told that is the very, very best way to read it, and I want to get the full experience. So I don't know, maybe you'll see this on my September TBR. We'll see how it goes, but I really, really do want to read this. These next two books, one is a YA contemporary and one is an adult romance contemporary, and I bought these two books actually today, and I'm going to take these ones on my vacation to read because they are standalones. And I didn't want to take anything on vacation where it was part of a series and then I couldn't have access to the second book if I loved it and I would just die, because I'm a binge reader. Once I finish the first book of series, I will most likely immediately start the second book. And so that's the reason why I'm going to take these standalones on vacation instead of a series. The first one is my adult contemporary romance, and that is Beach Reads by Emily. Emily Henry. It's about two authors, Augustus and January. That's her name, right? Yeah, and they are authors, but they write two different genres. January writes romance, and Augustus writes literary fiction. They end up striking a deal because they are living side by side in their own beach house for the summer because they both have writer's blocks, so they just came to get away. And so they strike up this deal where they have to switch their genres with each other. So January has to write literary fiction, and Augustus has to write a romance. And I thought that was just a fun, creative concept and plot, and so I'm just really excited to read this. And I really do enjoy adult contemporary a lot. I actually think I enjoy adult contemporary more than I enjoy YA romance, or YA contemporary, sorry, because it's so different and diverse, and each book that I read within adult contemporary genre is different from the last, whereas YA contemporary kind of feels stilted to me, where it's like reading the same thing over and over again. And now I'm just rambling, so let's move on to my last book on this list. Okay, last book on my August TBR so far, trust me, I will probably be buying more books in August, is Give Me Everything You Got by Eva Marie Palmer. Gosh, you guys, when I read this, I was so excited to buy it, I couldn't even. So this takes place in 1979 about a teenage girl who's just trying to find herself and trying to figure out her sexuality, and she has a crush on her new teacher. So she starts a crush with Bobby, who is the girl's new soccer coach. And I know that sounds like a creepy teacher-student relationship, but it's actually more, from what the synopsis is telling me, it's more about the girl. And her name is Susan. So like this is more of Susan's like coming of age story, instead of just like this romance, from what I have read in the synopsis. And so in order to get closer to Bobby, she joins the school soccer team, even though she doesn't know if she even likes soccer. And along the way, she discovers that she kind of does like soccer, and so maybe her real passion isn't actually this crush on Bobby, but something else entirely. And I just think that's so cool, and I'm really excited to read this one. Like, I'm really excited to read this one, you guys, and it's looks so cute and cool. And that's it, guys. That is my August TBR. I'm really excited to read all these books. I promised you and myself that I would read my last June TBR books that I included in this video, so I really hope I stay true to that, and I hope you guys had a fun time watching. Thanks again for clicking this video. I hope you guys have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye!